TikTok, time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the world. It's your friendly neighborhood philosopher here, D Wood. Hey, hang on. Why does my mic seem low? Check, check, yo, check. Oh, because I had that other one plugged in when AP was here. Check, check, yo, check. Check it. Check it, yo. Check, check, check. Okay, I think that's about right. Hey, how's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? Normally go live at 8, but I'm going live with Hatun on her channel tonight at 8, and I'll be traveling for the next couple days. So wanted to address this just because people were sending chats and so on, and then sending me messages saying, Malik is threatening you on TikTok. Ah! These guys are hilarious, man. Hey. You heard of this Malik guy? Hey, I wanted to verify because I only heard this from someone else, but I heard that Malik, the guy who, if you don't know the background, guys, if you were somehow not watching live streams for the past since like the beginning of December, we were wondering how things could possibly get any worse for the Dawah guys after such a terrible year for them, the Dawah bros. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy Malik, hey, someone said, he's talking about you right now on TikTok live, lol. Yeah, I wish I knew how to use that stuff. I only have, I still don't know how to go and even find him on TikTok. I still do not know. Unless someone gives me an actual link to go get something, then yeah, I'm not great at that. So the clips I have are clips that people sent me. They're like, hey, check out this clip. Hey, check that out, and so on. Jai sent me some clips and so on. A couple other people sent me clips of various things, but yeah, so he's talking about me. So we're going to check out some of the clips. So people are saying, what was it, yesterday, the day before, he's threatening me and so on. So we're going to check out that clip. We'll check out that clip. And then we'll check out, Jai earlier sent me a longer clip of him announcing that he has a 5-step plan for taking out the Dizzle. These guys are hilarious, man. And shocker, everything he announces as part of his plan is the exact same stuff they've been trying for 20 years. Like for the past 20 years. If you made a list of their 3 go-to moves every single time for trying to silence someone, he's going to do the same things that have failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. And that's basically the Dawah mentality. Everything that fails terribly, just keep doing it over and over and over again until it works. And it never works. So that's the situation they're in. But we've got this Malik guy. I had never heard of him. Until he exposed all his fellow Dawah guys for one of them, the Warner, pointing out that he's a Mossad agent. He's actually a Mossad agent. And I mean, think about that, right? Because we normally don't take it seriously when someone's like, that guy's a Mossad agent. This dude is either the dumbest person on the planet with the stuff he's doing. He's either the dumbest person who's ever lived with the tactics he's using, or he is an agent to destroy Dawah from within, working for somebody. The Warner said it was Mossad. It would not surprise me. So Malik Mossad. Anyway, guys, can anyone verify? Because I don't know. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and I might go ahead and try to find a couple of the pictures. The guy on the thumbnail, can anyone verify that that's actually who I'm talking about? Because people said that Malik, the guy who's talking, was a rapper, and I know the guy who's been talking and exposing all the Dawah guys, that he was a rapper. But people pointed out that it's a particular rapper whose name was Dr. Malik, because he was apparently he like failed out of, or dropped out of, he dropped out of med school or something like that. So he dropped out of med school, and then Let me see. Here's another one. I'm just looking up some pictures people sent. I just want to know if anyone can verify, because I don't want to put up a picture of someone that's not actually the correct person. So the question is, let me see. One second. Not terribly good with technology and finding stuff. So this guy. Anyone does anyone know, like, this is the guy that I'm talking about, that we've been talking to? So I tossed this picture up, just waiting for people to verify. So there's this picture, and let me see. Let me see. Who else? Who else? Who else? And then this. So notice who that is. That's Sheikh Uthman, and that's Malik and the Warner, supposedly. So I know the Warner, and I know Sheikh Uthman there. They're obviously fasting, because look at the spread in front of them. So they're definitely 100% fasting, because that's how they roll when they fast. So, and matter of fact, that red headband right there, that was, yeah, matter of fact, that makes perfect sense, because the dude had on that red headband when he crossed his face out of his picture with the Warner, smoking a blunt. And that's how he explained him. That's how he exposed him. Look at him, he's smoking a blunt. So just wanted to check. Is that the guy? Let me verify here. Did anyone say so? Someone said yes. So Answers with Muslims said yes. And Beacon Studio said yes. Okay, a couple of people said yes. So I'm going to assume you guys are right. If anyone knows otherwise, let me know. But we will just assume that this is Malik. So Malik, a.k.a. Dr. Malik. Dr. Malik. Why is the image mirrored? I don't know. What are you talking about? So if this is indeed Dr. Malik, then we're going to be talking about him. So anyway, guys, yeah, I wanted to say long story, but it's just since last month or so. But this guy exposed all his fellow Dawah clowns. So matter of fact, let's just go ahead and watch the short version of that. So we got the short version. Got the short version of Dr. Malik here. And so here's the short version. We went through a long, like 18-minute version, but it's basically the same thing over and over again. He's calling out his fellow Dawah guys for all the stuff they do. They go on Dawah trips. They raise funds for Dawah trips. They go on their Dawah trip, and then they get videos of themselves handing out Qurans in the park, so all their fans are happy. And then they go pick up girls at the club, and they take the girls back to the hotel, and then sometimes even trans women they're going to the club with. Malik exposed that too. They're up in the club with trans women. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, but would not be surprising as far as the Warner's concerned, because we've heard Malik also exposed the sort of stuff that the Warner is into. And so it would make sense for the Warner to be interested in some trans women. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Warner was one of the good ones? Yeah, that's what you think. A lot of these guys give Dawah and try to show themselves up as fake people, and I ain't with all that. And especially if you want to cross me, this is really what happened. He called Jake and told Jake Malik is an undercover Yahudi. He's an undercover Mossad agent. Warner, he denied it. He said, I never called him that. Jake said, guess what, Malik? I recorded it. Jake plays the whole phone call. What did he say? He called me an undercover agent. Chat, you want to see who Warner really is? I'm the wrong one, Warner. I'll bring all the receipts and evidence. The Warner is probably the fakest of them all. Like between Libiano, Central, all them, Warner in terms of the Islamic stuff, fakest of them all. You're the one who literally said in front of me and other people that you would take it up the butt as long as it got you into the game to where...
You hear this? This was the Warner. It's the Warner. That's like 600 and some thousand subscribers on YouTube for his powerful Dawah videos. he thinks that because Malik was a rapper, that he knows how to get into the Illuminati, not in the Zut sense, but how to get into the group. And the Warner's convinced that you have to let them do stuff to you. So he's thinking in terms of like Diddy parties and stuff like this, and what you have to do for your initiation. And the Warner's saying, "I'll do it, man. I'll do it." He's going to Malik, "Hey, you're a rapper, so you can, you know all these people. So yes, just let them know I will take it up. I will take it up the butt. I will take it up my butt to let me into their organization." So keep in mind, this is the same dude Malik says was in the club with trans women. Anyway, this is the short version. This is a recap. If you want a more detail, check out one of our previous live streams where we went through the longer clip.
You could make an influence. Wallahi said that in front of people. You said if I had to take you up the butt one time, so I could literally be in the Illuminati, just so I could help people come to Islam, you would. This guy is the biggest pothead on this planet, bro. The guy you take down.
Guys, you see it? You see that's what I said. He had a picture of himself, and you can see that the picture was bigger. This is a cropped version, but his face was all covered up. So he photoshopped himself. But notice same. Wait, is this? Oh yeah. Hey, this looks like the same day because there's the Warner got the same hat on. And Malik's got the same do-rag on. So, yeah, that is definitely the guy. That's definitely the guy there. So, all right. We figured that out. We figured out who Malik is, but let's continue.
All he does is roll one up. That's all he does. Chat, this guy gets high as hell all day and all night. Well, wallahi, may Allah curse me. This guy goes high to the mosque. This guy literally goes to give dawah high every day or every weekend. Sorry. Let me tell you guys something. All they want to do is hide behind the shield of Islam. These shits are private sins. So hold on. If Warner's asking for money for Qurans, but he's going to the dispensary instead, right? If he's going to the dispensary instead, is it Islamically I have to stay quiet?
So guys, he's talking about the Warner taking up collections to hand out Qurans, and then he spends the Quran money on weed, right? And Malik points this out, and people are saying, these are private sins. And he's going, wait, what? I mean, he's taking money for Dawah and for Qurans and spending it to get high. That's private. That's a private thing. I'm not supposed to mention that.
If he's going to the dispensary with the money he's getting for the Qurans, chat. Guys, I gave this guy money. I gave this guy money for Qurans. He went to the dispensary. He went to the dispensary and spent my money instead. By the way, guys, you know Warner's been married 9 times? Warner's been married 9 times. 9 times, chat. Muta. This guy's a muta. Bro, this guy went on vacation with a Moroccan girl, married her for 5 minutes, and then divorced her on the way home. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Was she trans? Sounds like, based on other things that Malik's saying, that that's what the Warner might be into.
This guy literally, and by the way, you think like he got married 9 times, like that's enough. Brother, this guy's smashing girls every weekend.
Smashing girls
Malik,
every
I
weekend.
just smashed this chick. I'm like, bro, why are you even doing that? Well, I have pics on my phone of this guy on FaceTime, bro, with a girl in his bed, lying on his shoulder, bro. Yeah.
He's saying he's got the receipts. I've got the picture. I've got it on my phone of this guy. He's FaceTiming me talking. He's in there with a girl he got from the club, man.
Look at you, bro. So as long as it's kuffar and Christian chicks, I don't care.
That was the response from Muslims in the chat. As long as it's non-Muslims, why do we care if the Warner is out there taking up the Dawah donations, going on Dawah trips, and, in their words, smashing hoes? Why would we care? As long as it's not Muslim women. If it's Muslim women, then you marry them with, you do the mutta marriage. You do the mutta marriage like you did with that Moroccan girl and married her for 5 minutes.
That's good. That's really good. Hey, chat, who knows about Warner and Adam Saleh having threesomes? You want me to start name dropping your whole life? You and Adam, you telling me about you and Adam doing threesomes together on Dawah trips? And you think Sneeko's any better? Him and Sneeko, bro, I got pictures of him and Sneeko slapping girls' asses, bro. Shit he sent me. I got everything. He be helping Sneeko? Yes. Bro, he helps Sneeko do all his crap, bro. You do run trains in rooms together. Adam and Slim and Sneeko all run trains in rooms.
Run trains. You know what that means, guys? That's, you get a girl, and a bunch of guys and just one guy after the next. That's running a train on a girl. He's saying these Dawah guys do that on their Dawah trips. This is what they do. We're handing out Qurans during the day. At night, we're running trains on girls. And the response of the Muslims, what are you talking about that? These are private sins. These are private sins. This is why they've ended up with this situation where these guys live these completely double lives. The fans don't care. The fans are fine. Of course, if we give him money and he just uses it for weed, what do we care as long as he shows his powerful Dawah videos?
Together with Warner there, and you want to talk about booty hole. I'm not into men. I'm not into men, brother. I'm into women.
Speak for yourself.
What were they doing in Colombia? Different. What did him and Sneeko do in Colombia? And Myron? Guys, these guys were smashing birds in Colombia. Bro, wallahi, may Allah curse me if I'm lying. I got the receipt right here. He told me he was in Colombia with Myron, FaceTiming me. I saw him on FaceTime with Myron, what they were doing. How they had girls with bikinis in their house and they were licking on their you-know-what.
Do you know what he's talking about? Myron from Fresh and Fit, and he's always got all the OnlyFans girls with him for his shows. He's saying, yeah, these guys are up in their hotel room or whatever, and they're posting, they're apparently sending Malik pictures. Hey, look, here's us licking on these OnlyFans girls. Back up a little bit.
FaceTiming me. I saw him on FaceTime with Myron, what they were doing. How they had girls with bikinis in their house and they were licking on their you-know-what in front of people and taking videos. And he tried to lure Libiano into that life too. That's why Libiano now is acting like this too.
That's Orthodox Lips.
What did Libiano do? What do you mean, what did Libiano do? What did he not do? Him and Warner, bro, these two together are the biggest disappointment of 2025.
They're the biggest disappointment of 2025? That's a... Malik, we might need to do a vote on that, buddy, because it is hard. It is hard to say what the biggest disappointments of 2025 are. I have to say, though, you're in the running, dude. You're in the top 5 with your Malik's leaks. Malik's. What about Malik's? What about Malik's? Yeah, I mean, guys, it was actually in his name that he was going to leak this information. His name is Malik, Dr. Malik. So anyway, guys, that was like a 4-minute clip of some of the things that were brought up. We went through like an 18-minute clip during a different live stream, but there's also like an hour and a half. It was an hour and a half of him just exposing these guys left and right. Exposing everything, all this stuff. Again, we didn't go into the these guys being in the club with trans women and stuff like that. Weird, creepy stuff. So what happened was Malik said all this stuff, exposed who? The Warner, Sneeko, Adam Saleh, Slim, Muslim Lantern. There he's talking about Libiano. He's talking about all these guys and all the stuff they're doing, running trains, getting high, going to the club and stuff. Talking about all the stuff these guys were doing. And I'd never heard of this guy. I'd never heard of this guy until that. Apparently, he's actually called in to live streams I was on before, and we must have talked to each other at some point, according to people. But I have no recollection of him. But apparently, so this guy, I had no clue who this was. All this information came out because he shared it with the internet, and we did a live stream on it. And then, no, matter of fact, even during that original live stream, he threatened Christians to keep quiet about it. So let's go ahead and check that little clip out. I don't think we watched it before, but where is it? Here we go. So this is the short clip. He's talking about what these guys are into and what they're doing. And Christians say something in the chat, and then he responds to Christians with this.
Adam was having threesomes in Chicago, and Warner was sitting there watching. He was having threesomes. He was having threesomes in Chicago. And Uthman, is he going to stand on that? Yeah. Yeah, is he going to stand on that? I don't.
Of course. What is Uthman going to do? Uthman's a dude who fakes hate crimes against himself. He's the guy who his Dawah buddy, sent his wife to Sheikh Uthman for marital counseling, and Uthman responded by banging her and then taking her for himself. And she rolled with Uthman. This woman was married to both these guys. She didn't even get the divorce from the other guy first. And Sheikh Uthman marries her and is banging her and so on. So is Sheikh Uthman going to stand up? Yeah, I don't think Sheikh Uthman, who rolls with these guys, cares even slightly. As long as it doesn't get exposed. But who exposed it? Uh-oh, Malik did.
Care. I don't have to say about Uthman, to be honest. Unless something gets said about me, I ain't got nothing to say. Yeah, why you exposing sins? Yo, guys, mute Christians in here. Yo, Christians, if you're going to sit in here and cuss my religion, bro, I'm going to piss on Paul.
You hear this? This before I ever said a word about this dude. This before I ever said a word about this dude. I'm saying this because he's saying that the reason they're declaring war on me, their words, they're declaring war on me is because I ripped a Quran. Oh, my goodness. Well, before I ever said a word to this guy, what's he saying? Let's go and check it out.
Bro, I'm going to piss on Paul and literally wipe my feces over him.
Keep in mind, it's one thing for a person who's like very respectful and so on. And if you were to respond to that, but with, desecrating a Quran or something like that, that's one thing. For a guy who, what? You said a word to me? I will piss on Paul. I will rub my feces on it. I don't know how exactly that would work. You don't have access to Paul, whereas I definitely have access to your Quran. The point is, before I say a word about this guy, this is what he's saying to Christians, to threaten them.
Wipe my feces over him. Behave yourself, sit in here on the fake account and shut your stupid ass up.
Ooh, that's him talking to Christians.
Before I put my feces all over Paul.
Sorry,
dogs.
Bud. You brought this on
got
yourself.
Christians came and behave yourself and stay quiet. This ain't your beef. Right?
This is Zoot Quran, man. Can I get that on there? What? Zoot, 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 zoot. Look. Made out of real Quran. Hey, that's AP's artwork there. But think about the hypocrisy, right? I can say whatever I want about Paul, and I'll talk about smearing feces and pissing on him and stuff like that. But be respectful about our book. Be respectful about our book. Why? Why would we do that? Why? Why did I just do this? Because Malik will blame me, whereas I'm blaming Malik. Malik, look at what you just caused. Look at what you just caused. Why am I doing this? Because of your behavior. Your behavior. It's not D. Wood. I tell you the rules. I tell you guys the rules, and I give you warnings. And I tell you exactly what I will do if you cross lines. But keep in mind, that's sort of that's not actually why I ate a page of the Quran. He made the mistake that Muhammad Hijab made years ago. Guys, remember when all this like ripping the Quran and eating the Quran and Quranagami, so remember when all that started? Who remembers how it started? Who remembers when all of this, ripping the Quran, eating the Quran, Quranagami, making Quran skin shoes, when did this start? Did we just wake up one day and decide, hey, we want to desecrate the Quran because there's nothing we can do about this powerful Dawah? When did it start? Let's go ahead and check the comments here. I'm wondering how more people don't remember. We got some examples. People are giving some incorrect things. There we go. Okay, we're getting it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of people have, okay. So yeah, this is what started this. So some people were putting like, yep, there you go. So hijab there, and then they threaten wives. Yeah. Other people were putting hatun. That was a different situation. We responded differently in that situation. But yeah. So these kinds of things. Yeah. The situation was Muhammad Hijab came up with the brilliant idea that he wasn't going to go after the critics of Islam. He came up with the brilliant plan. Apostate of Allah, threatening your wives, yeah. He came up with the brilliant plan. Now, he was only directing this towards the wives of the atheists at the time. So it was like, I think like three different atheist ex-Muslim channels. And he came up with the brilliant plan. Hey, our threats and insults are obviously not working against the guys who are criticizing Islam. So instead of going after them, let's go after their wives. Let's threaten their wives with rape and torture. And when we were live when I saw this. It was me, AP, and Abdullah Samir. We're all sitting there, and AP points out what Muhammad Hijab said in a tweet. I grabbed a copy of the Quran. I tore a page out, tore out Surah Al-Fatiha, and I ate it. And I told him, hey, if you guys want to go in this direction, we were fine having discussions and so on, even fine with, banter and threats towards us and insults and so on. We weren't reacting by messing with the Quran. If you guys are launching a campaign to harass people's wives with threats of rape and torture, we're going to make you stop. And I guaranteed him, I will make you stop. And guess what? They stopped. They stopped because they didn't want the eating the Quran. That was just the first step. There was much, 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 much more. We let them know, hey, if you guys want to escalate to this, okay, we're going to launch a campaign of desecration of your book, and there's nothing you can do about it. And they stopped. And they stopped for a long time until Malik came along. Then Malik got the brilliant idea. Hey, I just exposed all the Dawah guys, and Christians are using it. So you know what? I'm going to start going after their wives. I'm going to start looking for pictures of their wives and so on, and posting pictures of their wives, and I will attack their wives and mock their wives. That was his brilliant plan. Did he know the rules? Did Malik know that there's a rule against going after the wives? Yes, he did. Absolutely, he did. And he did it anyway, which means that's on him. That is 100% on him. And I'll go ahead and prove it to you guys, because this is a passage I've had to draw attention to. So here's multiple translations of Surah 6, verse 108. You can check it out. Pickthall, revile not those unto whom they pray beside Allah, lest they wrongfully revile Allah through ignorance. Thus unto every nation have we made their deeds seem fair. Then unto their Lord is their return, and he will tell them what they used to do. It's his first part. So next translation, Yusuf Ali, revile not ye those whom they call upon besides God, lest they out of spite revile God in their ignorance. So what is this about? What is this about? This is a situation in Mecca where the polytheists got sick of the Muslims constantly mocking their gods and goddesses. So they, according to some commentators, said, the polytheists responded with, if you keep mocking our gods and goddesses, we're going to mock Allah. And Allah's response was, okay, then stop. Talking to his Muslims, stop mocking. If they're going to mock Allah in return, stop with the insults. Just stop with the insults. Stop it. This is on you. Okay. Now, once Allah says that, once he says, Muslims, I'm telling you, if your behavior is going to cause someone to insult your religion in return, stop it. Stop it right now. Stop with the insults. Okay. If you're a Muslim and you read that, Allah says, don't mock other people's beliefs if it's going to lead to them mocking Allah in return. If you know that, and that's in the Quran, and you say, well, I don't care, I'm going to go ahead and mock and insult anyway, even if it's going to lead to attacks on my religion, who is that on? Who's responsible for that? According to the Quran, that's on you. So Allah, Malik, in Surah 6, verse 108 says, this is on you. Now, in that context, it's them mocking the people's, mocking the gods and goddesses of the polytheists. But you had commentators like Qurtubi and so on, who argued that he said that he didn't believe that they would mock, that the polytheists would mock Allah because they believed in Allah. So he thought it must have been mocking Muhammad, and therefore indirectly insulting Allah, because he didn't think they would actually mock Allah because they believed in Allah. So the principle became, hey, if you're insulting, if you're just tossing out insults and abuse and so on, if you can get away with it, that's good. if you can't get away with it, and it's going to lead to people mocking Allah, insulting Muhammad, ripping up Qurans, whatever, stop doing that stuff. Can Malik stop? No, he can't. None of these guys can. I mean, they can stop a particular instance, stop going after people's wives and so on, but they can never, ever, ever really stop. They always have to come with this stuff. So anyway, that's the situation we were in. Malik posted all this stuff. We went through it in a video, live stream, and then he started going after people's wives. And oopsie, that led to me, forget exactly, probably eating a page of the Quran or something like that. Then this guy just decided to throw a massive tantrum, and now he's declaring war. So we're going to look at a clip of, this was either yesterday or the day before or something like that, but we've got Malik, apparently threatening me, and then he's got his longer video where he's explaining how they're declaring war on me. So this is definitely going to take up a lot of my time because we're dealing with some real powerhouses here. Let's take these first couple super chats and then we'll check out the threat. Here we have Nordine again. The story of Yajuj and Majuj, yeah, we know, you've told us 17,000 times, is well known among Muslims, so ignorance can't account for their continued belief in Islam. Large-scale demonic mind manipulation can. Islam is evidence of demon-induced collective insanity. Sheba, oh, that's super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Good evening, David. Always glad to listen to your live streams. Keep up the good work. Your fellow Jewish Israeli American. Hey, you know who else is my fellow Jewish Israeli American? Malik, apparently. Got exposed for being a Mossad agent. 2 Muslims wanted God Logic to go to the Arabian desert. Yeah, don't go to the Arabian desert with these guys. We know what happens. Their ratfish rabbit is literally just a platypus. It'd be funny if that's what it was. David is shy to ask you not to flood his inbox with emails, but Allah is not shy. That's what I should be saying. B.S. Sneeko is not qualified to run freight trains. He wouldn't even make it as a brakeman. So they are running trains on girls while Warner watches. Is he the Abdullah ibn Masud? Yeah, he read the story of Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut, and he said, I want to be Ibn Masud. I'll sit over here in my chair and watch. No forced marriage, no Islam. Muslim men are, oh, this is very rude and Islamophobic. Channel 14 in Israel just exposed a Dawah center in Israel that tries to convert Jews and recruit them to, Islamic State, eh? Maybe do a stream on it with Ash Mays. I might. Yeah, I'd have to check that out. They should worry less about the tearing of the Quran and more about the tearing that Muhammad suffered at the hand of Al-Zut. Apparently the Warner thinks that's not so bad. Stay safe, David. I will never stay safe. Not staying safe is my middle name. All right, everyone. Ready to check out some of this? Let me see what we got here. So there's a short clip, and then there's like a much longer clip where he he announces that they're all uniting and declaring war on me. So this is gonna be awesome. Let's see. Where is it? All right. So here's what people sent me from yesterday. It's just him filming the ocean.
And I repeated at the beginning, but there weren't many of you in here. David Wood sued the police department in Dearborn, Michigan for $3.2 million. Who knew that? Who knew that? You gotta be... Oh, did he win? Of course he is.
So apparently, they said we sued for $3.2 million, and he just said, yes, we won. So apparently we got 3.2. Guys, do you think this would be my studio if I got $3.2 million? Anyway, what actually happened was, I don't remember what the amount sued for originally. So we're standing there on a street, a public street, having a peaceful discussion with, I don't know, 10 or a dozen or something like that. Maybe 15-year-old Muslims who came up to Nabil. They saw him with a Christian shirt on. They came up to Nabil and they're asking questions. They're like, hey, how can you believe your God came out of a woman? How can you believe this? How can you believe that? Nabil's responding to him. He's praising them, saying, wow, these are great questions, guys. And police show up and throw us in jail. I wasn't saying a word. I was standing there holding a camera, pointing at Nabil. But they locked us up. They locked several of us up. And at any point, they could have apologized and said they were wrong. They refused. So we sued them. At any point during that, they could have apologized. They refused. So we sued them. And here's how this works. When you put out your lawsuit, you say, okay, you violated our client's constitutional rights. We're suing you for, he says 3.2. I don't know. That may be correct as far as the original. Here's what we're suing you for. How does it actually work after that? How does it work after that? Well, after that, then you actually go into discovery and stuff like that. You sit down, the lawyers sit down, and they go through everything, and then they figure out exactly what happened, and then you can come to a settlement. All I was interested in was getting an apology. That was part of the settlement. So what they actually paid, it's I think around $300,000 or something like that total. That's everything. That's because there's a bunch of people involved and lawyers involved and stuff like that. What did I get out of it? I don't recall. It's something like 25 or 35, may have been as high as 50 or something like that. I remember Nabil got more. So everything is like whatever it was, 300,000 or something like that. But it's depending on how what they did affected you. So with me, it's just they lied about me and said I did all this stuff that I didn't do and then locked me up. With Nabil, that's when he was actually like, he was still planning on going into medicine. And so it got pointed out, hey, you just screwed up this guy's entire life because now he's going to be applying for jobs. And as soon as they look him up, the first thing that pops up is, man arrested in Dearborn for spreading Islamophobia or something like that. A bunch of nonsense. He was answering questions and so on. So it actually affected him. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, this dude just made it sound like we got 3.2 million. No, it would have been like 25 or maybe a little more. I don't know. I don't remember. I can look it up. Guys, I don't know if you don't realize, but I'll tell you anything. I don't care. What are you gonna do? And notice how this was switched around. If this had been Muslims doing dawah and police showed up, locked them up, threw them in jail, lied about them, said they were causing a riot and so on, didn't happen, would Malik here be cheering on a lawsuit? Of course they would. They expect us to be dhimmis, to keep our mouths shut when this sort of thing happens. And no, we're not. And so the city of Dearborn had to apologize. That was the main thing. And again, they could have done that at any point, not have been fine with it. But it was required. They had to apologize on the city's website and leave it posted there for 3 years. That was what was required of them. So anyway, that was the situation. But apparently I made $3.2 million from the city of Dearborn, according to this awesome researcher.
Gotta be strategical, bro. Every boxing match takes a different style, Some people you can go straight for them. Some people, their group chat comes in here and records for them. Some people, they, you poke them a little bit here and there, but you're just playing with them the whole time. You see?
Oh, interesting. One second. Where'd that go? Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Look at this. No DT said Malik put a picture up of Avery's wife in a bikini in his live like 6 or so minutes ago. Y'all get that? What's the rule? Apparently they're live about me right now. Does he know this is a rule? Does he know that going after people's wives is a big no-no? Yeah, he knows, and he keeps doing it anyway. You're telling me this guy's not an agent of Mossad? Look at what he did. So think about what this guy just did. End of 2025, he apparently gets activated, right? His handlers activate him. Hey, now's the time to really destroy Dawah. Now's the time really to destroy Dawah. And he does it. He exposes all these guys, exposes how sick and depraved beyond. I mean, we knew stuff was going on, but based on the stuff that we actually hear about, we know these guys are doing messed up stuff. But like running trains on girls and like going to clubs with trannies and stuff like that, taking the Dawah donations and spending them on drugs. Right? We didn't know that stuff. So he gives us all this information right there, just completely wreaks havoc. They're never getting away from this. When is the Warner going to be able to show his face where this doesn't come up? When are Sneeko and Adam Saleh and Muslim Lantern, any of these guys going to be able to say anything? This is going to follow them around. What he said about them, what he acknowledged about them, what he proved about them is going to follow them around for the rest of their lives. He did that. That's what he did at the end of 2025. Here we are in 2026. He knows the rules. I'm sitting here telling him, this is the rule. Don't go after people's wives. If you do, I will launch the world's biggest Quran desecration campaign ever. What's he doing? Putting up pictures of God Logic's wife in a bikini. Does he know the rules? What does Surah 6 verse 108 say, guys? Who's responsible? Him. He knows the rule. This was 7th century Mecca. Hey, if you Muslims don't stop insulting, we are going to respond by going after your religion, insulting your beliefs, and so on. And Allah says, Muslims, stop what you're doing. Do not do this. If they do it, that's them breaking a command of Allah and causing the behavior. It's already been shown. This is what we will do if you do not stop insulting. So here we are. Allah says, Malik, stop what you're doing right now. I lay down the rule. Hey, here's what I'm going to do if you engage in this type of behavior. And then he does it, which means it's deliberate, which means he is deliberately causing a campaign of Quran desecration. Deliberately. Is this guy a sincere Muslim? Or is he an agent of Mossad, destroying Dawah at the end of the last year and now trying to completely destroy Islam? What is it? Anyway, what's amazing is now they'll whine about this. Oh my goodness. David's doing exactly what he told us he would do. Just like he always does. Isn't that weird? Avoid this one. It's not ripe yet. Anyway. All right. Wait, so where are we going? So super chats? Malik got his education from the Leering Center. Yeah, he's definitely smart. Got my buddy Hussein here. What's up, man? And I wish I had a Quran to join you in protest. Oh, you can get Quran. By the way, guys, this is not even really the punishment. This is a joke. We're just recapping. We're bringing back Quran Agami. I have some friends. I have some friends who have a bunch of sheep and goats on their farm. Lots of sheep and goats on their farm. So we'll be able to reenact some of the things about Quran pages being eaten by sheep and goats and stuff like that. No, we're not going to tell these guys, we're not going to tell Malik and his buddies where the sheep and goats are, because those sheep and goats wouldn't be very safe. Had another guy that I don't know, but he's messaged me saying, hey, I have a pig farm. He says he has a pig farm. So, this is going to be an interesting year. And it's all because of Malik, guys. It's all because of Malik. We're telling him, if you cross this line, here's what happens. And he's going, okay, then I cross this line, because I want this behavior. Okay, then it's on you, buddy. It's on you. So all you Muslims who are watching and complaining, I can't believe we're doing this. You deal with your own people. You tell your own people to stop. If you don't, these are consequences, man. Consequences. So yeah, anyone can join in protest. What is this? Left-handed assassin. No comment there. We need some bacon as a side. Oh yeah, that's another thing I'm going to do. I got some, I have a recipe for bacon wrapped Quran pages and feed them to a dog. Ripping a page from the Quran for Avery's wife. No, again, guys, these are just warning shots. It's already too late. And keep in mind, after he did it, and I ate a page of the Quran. I said, all this guy has to do, is apologize, and we're done. I'm not talking about apologizing to me. I don't care what he says to me. If you cross a line and you threaten Christians and you start going after people's wives, just apologize. You're wrong. We're done. We're done. But I said, even when I said that, I said, I know you can't do it. I know for a fact you cannot do it. Why? Because they hate us more than they love Allah. They hate us more than they love the Quran. They hate us more than they love Muhammad. So if they have to choose between insulting us or attacking us or threatening us, they have to choose between that and honoring Allah, honoring Muhammad, honoring the Quran. They will choose attacking us, threatening us 100% of the time. They cannot resist. They cannot resist. And that's what we're seeing right now. And so, yeah, this will just be the beginning, guys. We're going to launch. It's already done because he's saying they're gearing up for war. Well, guess what? I got people on my side too, and we're going to gear up for war. And I guarantee you, Malik, I guarantee you, this will be the biggest year of Quran desecration the world has ever seen. We're at the beginning of January. We're at the beginning of January, everyone. And we were wondering what's 2026 going to be like. Well, now we know. We don't make these decisions. We tell people, hey, if you do this, we're going to do this. If you do this, we're going to do this. If you do this, we're going to do this. And then they do, and then they choose. They choose what we do. We give them the options, and they choose the options they apparently like best. So 2026 going to be the world's history's most epic year of Quran desecration ever. It will make all previous years look like a complete, utter, total joke, and it will all of it be connected to Malik and Muhammad Hijab, because, he's the one who set all this in motion. But, yep, that's what's going to happen this year. But Malik, he's going to do his stuff too. So let's see what he's got in store for us.
Hammering your dad 7 times with a hammer, that's easy. Anybody could do that.
I don't know.
But making people disappear.
Most people. Hey, did you catch that?
That's, I think, more.
He said, anybody can hammer your dad. That's easy. But making people disappear, that's hard. What? How's that hard? How's that harder? Let me see.
That's easy. Anybody could do that. But making people disappear, that's, I think, more of a talent,
So what do you think, guys? Is he saying he's going to make me disappear? What do you guys think? Let's see. Let's continue.
I think that's more of a talent, making people disappear,
Is he saying he's got the talent of making people disappear?
7 times with a hammer, anybody could do that. So, I think, God is the best of people, right?
Why are you dishonoring him?
I mean, God was able to make, Jesus just disappear, right? We don't think he went to hell and suffered for 3 days, do we, chat? God made him disappear. So, anything's possible. And every dog has its day.
Every dog has its day.
So, keep drawing,
Oh, people in the comments saying, in his chat saying, Malik, you're scaring me. Why?
Artists usually survive only for a while. But the one who wrote the book lasts forever. If you get what I'm saying.
All right, so that's a clip someone sent me. I think a couple of people sent me that one. Anyway, that's a clip someone sent me and said he's threatening you. What are you guys talking about? You guys think that's a threat? Let's see. Report to police. Dawah doesn't report to police. All of these threats. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's a threat. Oh, big threat. All right. So, anyway, hang on. We have definitely a threat, David. I know a good lawyer. Guys, this is why he's stupid. I've gotten thousands of death threat audio. It's actually way less now because now YouTube algorithms and stuff pick up on it and stuff. It used to be like every time I'd post a video making fun of Muhammad or something like that, sometimes I would get like 50, 60 threats a day back in the day. So it's way fewer now. But over the years, yeah, it's definitely in the thousands. I don't know how many thousands, but it was tons and tons and tons of them back in the day. Especially because back in the day, there were not a lot of people doing this. There were not a lot of people exposing Islam. So they could concentrate all their fire on a couple of people. I've never reported any of those. I've had like the FBI show up to tell me that there are credible threats against me and so on, but I've never reported anything. The only time I can think of that I ever actually reported anything was when someone doxed someone on Twitter, and that I actually sent a notification to Twitter. Apart from that, I've never said any. I've never complained to, reported people to the platforms or to police. I got my own kind of ways of dealing with things, guys. And it's just a general rule. If you're if you're an ex-con, you that stuff sticks with you. You generally don't go to cops. So anyway, that's the situation we're in. All right, now we're going to take a look at the longer video where he's laying out his awesome plans, his awesome plans where he's gonna be the one to take down the Dizzle, guys. He's gonna be the one to take down the Dizzle. Does Malik know why kids love the taste of Quran Toast Crunch? No one loves the taste of Quran Toast Crunch. Wifey of D. Wood should give him elf ears. No fear of too much fiber and that ink is bad. You need to get stricter with his diet. No. I will be eating the Quran till I die, apparently, because they cannot control themselves. 2026, Year of Islam, learning who's got the power. We've got the power. Mo didn't last forever. He barely lasted all night long. And here we have Quranapalooza hosted at Pig Farm. It's going to be that, guys. We're going to do that. And they'll just be throwing tantrums. Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And at any point, they could have just made Malik apologize. But Malik, he's a narcissist. Well, let me put it this way. This dude is either extreme narcissist combined with being the dumbest person on the planet, because everything he's doing is like beyond stupid, or he's just a Mossad agent. Like, wouldn't have to be Mossad, but someone who's trying to destroy Islam from within. Keep in mind, guys, when people say, oh, this person's doing this, he must be Mossad and so on, you think, okay, that's just you yelling something because you disagree with somebody or something like that. We know for a fact there are people who infiltrate organizations and so on, right? Like there's that movie back in the day, Donnie Brasco. That was a true story. It was an agent who infiltrated the mafia, and he was with them for years and so on. He was about to become a made man. That's like there it's official, but things were getting too dangerous, and they actually pulled him out. And you had the other agents who were like, no, at least let him get made. Then they will know that we can get past all their precautions and so on. We can actually get a guy made and stuff like that. Anyway, they pulled him out right before he was made, but it was a true story. And this was a guy who was in the mafia for years and was an agent. And so is it unheard of that you would have someone infiltrate the Dawah community to dig up dirt on these guys and to share it, to expose them, to completely destroy Dawah, and then to launch a massive campaign of Quran desecration from within Islam? I mean, could you have that? Let's do a poll, guys. Let's do a poll. Not in this good sense, but let's go ahead and do a quick poll, and then we'll get into his longer video here. So let's make a poll. Is Malik a Mossad agent? Is Malik a Mossad agent? All right, guys. Is he just this dumb? Ooh, 86% so far. This dude is obviously Mossad. So this view is that the Warner was actually right. The Warner figured out that this guy's a Mossad agent, right? So think about how this works. On this view, the Warner finds out that this guy's a Mossad agent and starts trying to warn his fellow Muslims. This guy's an agent, man. That's why he's not. That's why he's not doing a lot of the stuff. He's telling us how to do it and where to, meet girls and all this stuff. But he's not doing it with us because he's actually an agent, and he's eventually going to try to destroy our Dawah from within. And then once the Warner started telling people that, that's when Malik flipped out. How dare you? I will point out that you were trying to get banged in the butt to join the Illuminati, and how you're sitting there on the Diddy chair, the Abdullah ibn Masud chair, watching your Dawah buddies run trains. Like he went nuclear. He went nuclear on all these guys for blowing his cover. So we've got, looks like about 72% think this guy's an agent. So more people than not think Malik is actually an agent. So he's working for someone else. But guess what? Hey, if you want to bring down Dawah from within, I don't know. You could just be an idiot. You could just be an idiot and a narcissist. That fits right into, that's the general pattern for a Dawah guy. Narcissist and really stupid. But if that's the direction you want to go, so I don't know. You could be this, you could be that. I'm willing to put it this way. If it's an agent trying to bring down Dawah from within, I'm glad to help. I'll be happy to help. If it's just an idiot and a narcissist, hey, I'll respond the exact same way. So from my perspective, it wouldn't actually matter which one he is. But looks like most people think he is actually a Mossad agent. And what's he doing now? Now he's telling people to gear up for war, and he's telling people it's going to be a huge, huge mess for Islam, but that people have to do it anyway. So cool times. One second. We'll take these couple super chats before we go. And I'm saying that because, guys, I definitely have to be out of here an hour from now because I'll be going live with Hatun. So yeah, I don't want to miss any. I don't want to miss any super chats here. What sound does a train make when it's about to rail somebody? Zoot, zoot. That's correct. Someone should make a song out of that called the Zoot Train. I got your back, David. They call me Holy Heat, if you know what I mean. Holy Heat. If Malik is the artist, David is the author. Yeah, he's a failed rapper. Today, I called in to an atheist show. Can you react to it live and tell me how I did? Joel reads Bible channel and click his latest live to skip to combo. Other people can check that out. I don't think we'll get to that. Again, I'm doing this live stream and then I'll be traveling. I'll be traveling for a few days. So a goat ate their Quran and nobody said anything. Why are they upset when you do it? Yeah, I mean, Uthman, the third of the rightly guided caliphs, burned all their Qurans. I don't see him whining about that. My contribution for some bacon in honor of Malir. Hammer Time nicknames make sense now. That's true. I have Quran ready. Let us know, David. Yeah, he's launching the campaign, so he's telling everyone to gear up, so we're going to gear up too. Malik getting the obvious, you're a snitch treatment, and yet he is not smart enough to stop. Yeah. He snitched on everybody. He snitched on the whole Dawah community. He's a snitch. That dude is a straight up snitch. He better not ever get locked up for anything because that would not go well for him once they find out he's a snitch. Congrats on 4K, Mr. Am I at 4K? Oh, I am at 4K. I didn't even know. 4K. That's a start. All right. So hang on. Where's that at? Huh. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Since Malik is this failed rapper, let's check this out. So that's Malik we found. Check this out. Look at this. This is the headline. Fan scam victims seek justice as rapper hypes more shows. So this is him in 2022. Fan scam. He's got some sort of fan scam. What is it? A rapper accused of duping people into posing as his fans. This is your guy, Muslims? This is your guy now? This is the guy who's calling shots for Dawah? A rapper accused of duping people into posing as his fans is claiming to have more shows lined up. An Instagram story last week, California-based Dr. Malik, that was his rap name, shared a flyer for a March 16th sold-out concert in London, England. He did not name the venue, and as of Sunday, the tour dates page of his website indicated there is no upcoming event scheduled. A Google search for a Dr. Malik show in London brings up no results. So he's in California bragging it's a sold-out show and posting it, a sold-out show, and people are like, there's no show. There's actually no show there. He's making it up to make himself sound important. Dr. Malik did not respond when asked via email to provide the name of the venue. In an earlier Instagram story, Dr. Malik claimed he also had shows coming up in LA, Houston, DC, Chicago, and Atlanta. Dr. Malik, whose real name is Malik Gabertai, in 2016, he sought to change his surname to Hamza, has publicly denied having a role in the scheme to sell tickets and fill his shows with people who now appear in promotional photos and videos on social media. Some of those people who are promised cash to act like fans at his shows in Oakland and New York City in December have joined forces to explore their legal options, including a possible class action lawsuit. He was paying people to pose as his fans and then what? Didn't pay them? He ended up not paying them. And so they want a class action lawsuit to sue him because he, guys, can you show up to my concert, my rap concert at the club and pretend to be my fans so I don't get embarrassed with an empty club? In the meantime, a few have sought refunds for the tickets they purchased from their credit card providers. Gabertai is also named in a complaint filed with New York's Bureau of Consumer Frauds and Protection. My friends and I were scammed, Sophia, who asked that her surname not be published, wrote in the filing, a copy of which was obtained by iHeartRadio. I am owed money. I played my part. So he promised to pay people for pretending to be his fans. Whoa. Oh, Sophia claims she never received the $6,500 she was promised for bringing more than a dozen friends to Dr. Malik's December 9th, 2021 concert. So he says, hey, bring a bunch of your friends to the place where I got my concert, and I'll pay you $6,500. And then he doesn't pay them. She said if Dr. Malik is booking more shows, it's a slap in the face to her and other victims of the fan scam. Many of them have vowed to contact venues that book Dr. Malik to make sure they know about what happened. And now I guess it makes sense why he gave up on the rap game, right? I mean, if you're the sort of dude who has to pay people to show up so you can look like people are actually interested, you're probably not going to make it in the rap game. How many people do you think Eminem has to pay to show up to his concert? I mean, even like mid-level or even some low-level rappers, how many people do you think they have to pay? If you're the one who has to pay people to show up, you're not going to make a living at your rap career. So anyway, what a dork, man. If I give you $6,500, can you show up to my concert with a bunch of your friends so I don't look like an idiot and I can get, a little video clip and there will actually be people watching and cheering? I got money. And then he doesn't even pay them. So it's like loser. So he's a loser who can't get anyone who will come to his concert. And then he's a double loser. And then he's a double loser because he didn't actually pay them. And then he's saying, oh, I've got this sold out concert. People are like, where's this sold out concert? You don't even have one. You have zero sold out concerts, dude. Anyway, that's the dude we're dealing with. So he gave up on the rap game. And now he's basically an errand boy for Dawah guys. Like, hey, where's the club out here? You were in the rap game. Where's the club where we can pick up these hoes? And he was fine with that as long as they didn't expose him as a Mossad agent. That's where he drew the line. Exposing him as a Mossad agent. That's where he flipped out and made it clear that will not be tolerated. All right. So that's the guy we're dealing with, everyone. That's who's declaring war on me. All right. So here we have I don't know if this was yesterday or the day before or the day before or whatever, but this was sent to me. It's him preparing for war. Here we go.
Is Malik doing wild stuff. You're going to see 400, 500 people in here going crazy. But I'm letting the Pyru members know ahead of time that all of this that's about to happen has been we try to prevent it.
You tried to prevent it? Whoa, bull. You could have prevented this at every level. One, the Dawah guys could have not gone around smashing hoes, running trains, using Dawah donations for drugs and so on. Been up in the club, rub-a-dubbing up in the club with trans women and so on. They could have not done that. And then you would have had nothing to expose them for. So that's one. Could have been stopped at you exposing them, but you couldn't resist because they blew your cover as a Mossad agent. So you could have kept your mouth shut. Then after we started talking about it, you could have not reacted because we weren't going after you. We were pointing out what you said. So you could have not reacted. And then even after you started going after people's wives and threatening Christians and so on, even after that, you could have just said, okay, I'm sorry, it will never happen again. 4 different stages, you could have stopped this at any time. This could have never seen the light of day, or it could have been squashed. Every single time, you're the guys who are responsible for everything that's happened. And once I make it clear to you, hey, if this is the route you're deciding to go, then okay, then here's what's going to happen. And you are now deciding that you want the year of Quran desecration. You want this to be the most epic year of Quran desecration ever. And you're saying, we're trying to stop it. You could have stopped it at any point. You chose war. Okay. I'm built for war, buddy. I'm built for this. I get bored. I get bored if there's not a war going on. So, I accept your decision for war.
We try to prevent it, but we can't.
Yes, you can.
We can't prevent it.
You literally could. You chose not to.
Put one in the chat if you saw David Wood eat the Quran the other day.
Hey,
in my name, by the way.
You don't need to.
He ate it in my name. Called me by name and ate it.
By the way, notice that. It's not that I ate the Quran. I've been doing that for years. Guys, how many? Look at this. Look at this Quran. This is one of the Qurans. This is one Quran. This is what's left out of from pages. This is what's left in this Quran from me and AP responding to various people running their mouths, threatening people, insulting people, and so on. That's what's left from that Quran. So this has been going on for years. Am I not known for Quranagami? Am I not known for making Quran skin shoes? Am I not known for ripping the Quran, eating the Quran, and so on in response to you guys crossing lines? Guys, if you're not crossing lines, I don't cross the lines. But I tell you, you cross the lines, I'm crossing the line. I'm completely willing to cross lines. So did he know this? Did he know I would react like this? Yes. Why is he acting? We don't know. Did you see this? But look, so I've been doing this for years. And what's he complaining about right now? That's his explanation for why he has to go to war? Because I included his name in it. And since I included his name, that's why he's going to war. It really does seem like it's about him, right? Like, if I do all this stuff to the Quran and your prophet and cartoons of your prophet and all this stuff, and I do this for years, and you just act like everything's fine, and the moment I mention your name, okay, now it's war. All Muslims line up. We're marching out to war. That kind of make it sound like it's all about you, right? And not about the Quran. Hey, hang on. Since he complained about me putting his name on it, there, Malik. Now I literally put your name on it. It wasn't just me mentioning your name while doing it because you were the cause, because of your decisions to engage in behavior that you know for a fact will lead to Quran desecration. Since you chose to do that, I mentioned your name, but now it's literally on there. Now it's literally on there, Malik. Anyway, let's check it out.
Put a 1 if you saw him do it.
I saw it. Like, oh, I screamed.
Call him by my name, by the way.
Your name.
Not just eating it randomly, but called me by my name, like, what you gonna do type shit.
Yeah, what you gonna do? Hey, Malik. Hey, what you gonna do?
Okay, good.
What you gonna do?
Now, this is the problem. This is the problem, chat. This is unfortunately the issue. And this is where, as Muslims, you gotta understand before stuff, you can't get fooled by what's gonna happen. Okay? Now, there's a couple disadvantages we have going into this war, okay? That we didn't necessarily have last time.
Did you hear what he just said? There's a disadvantage we have going into this war. All you have are disadvantages, dude. You don't have a single advantage. It's all disadvantages. So you got to list your disadvantages that you think of. I'll tell you an even bigger disadvantage because you're too stupid to actually get it. So I'll explain it to you in small words so you'll understand it, buddy.
Okay? The first disadvantage we have, number one, is that these guys their reach is just way different than what we got going on.
We've been at it longer. We're more famous. We do have more reach. Yeah, that's true. So what do you point out there? We've been doing this for a while. We have a ton of people. So he's saying they don't have big reach. That's so, dude, that's already a bunch of TikTok nerds watching your stuff. They're not your rap fans because apparently you didn't have any. You had to pay people to go to your concert. But somehow there's some people who are following you on TikTok. Maybe because they know you're the guy who knows where the clubs are and where the hoes are to smash and stuff like that. Well, for whatever reason, there are some people who follow you. He's pointing out we have bigger reach. Okay, you're already at a disadvantage here. It's good you acknowledge that, but why would you do this? Why would you do this? That's your decision. So you decided, hey, even though we're at a disadvantage and these guys have bigger channels and stuff like that, and these guys are going to desecrate Quran, let's do it anyway. Your choice. You tell me this guy's not an agent. Come on. Or again, just dumbest of the dumb. Let's see.
Okay? Every time he goes live, he's pushing thousands.
Well, not right now. It's at 1,600. I think God Logic's live right now. So we're splitting the viewers. But yeah. I mean, if we're talking people who watch afterwards, yeah, that would be tens of thousands and so on. So lots of people are going to be watching this, way more than watching you. In fact, most people who are hearing what you say right now are only hearing it because I'm playing it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, since he would pay fans to come to his concert, what do you think he's one of these guys that like pays for clicks and views and stuff like that? I mean, it's the same mentality. Anyway, here we go.
Okay. Him, AP, Giant Dog. Logic is not going to get involved. Logic is going to come in and out. I know the personnel. Logic's going to come in and out, pretend he doesn't know what's going on, because
he won't pretend that he doesn't know. He'll just acknowledge, hey, if you guys are crossing lines, and then someone responds, I don't have a problem with it. So he didn't do this stuff, but he didn't have a problem with other people putting these guys in check.
The people person, right? Sam, they kick Sam out. Sam's not involved. Now it's just David Wood, Giant Dog, Chris Claus, and that whole little chat. Okay, Chris Claus, he's already X'd out. Chris Claus is just the messenger boy.
Chris is not going to do any of this stuff. Chris is a nice guy. Chris is probably like pretty much like God Logic, like, hey, I'm not going to do this stuff, but I know what these guys are dealing with, and this is some sick, evil, demonic, antichrist nonsense. And so, guess what? Hey, Malik, I'm gonna spit some knowledge to you. After I ate the Quran in response to Muhammad Hijab going after people's wives with threats of rape and torture, after I did that, Muslims they do what they always do. They take the little clip of just me eating the Quran, which is what you guys did, right? You just took a screenshot and then everyone, oh my goodness, look, he's eating the Quran. You guys never share that it's your behavior that's actually causing this stuff. But so they all took the little clip of just me eating the Quran. They didn't say what's about. They don't tell people, oh yeah, the Muhammad hijab is going after people's wives with threats of rape and torture and stuff, and then trying to convince all his fans to do the exact same thing, to hunt them down on social media, find pictures of them and so on, and just declare war on people's wives. They didn't say that. They just said, here's David eating the Quran. Guess what? Most Christians didn't care already. Those who did care, people would ask me about it. They would say, David, did you eat the Quran? And I would say, yeah, it's an interesting situation because they're launching this huge campaign of threats of rape and torture against women. And I knew how to make them stop by launching a Quran desecration response. And guess what? They backed down. I can only think of like James White and like a couple of his fans are the only people that I can think of who still had a problem with it. Everyone else, I mean, I've talked to like a pastor. My wife and I had dinner with, it was a pastor and a college professor. And they're like, hey, we saw a thing where you ate the Quran. What was up with that? And I explained the situation. And the guy goes, oh, yeah, you had to do that then. That's the reaction. Oh, if it comes down to you stopping them from going after women, you got to do that. You got to do that. And these guys can't get their minds around it. In their minds, women are just like things. They're just like they're garbage. They're things you smash. They're things you smash. They're things you do mutta with and stuff like that. They're things you beat. They're not important to them. So that in their minds, why would anyone protect women and use the Quran to do it? Like the Quran is up here in importance, and women are like just garbage. And we're like, no, actually, your book is garbage to us, and women are actually very, very special to us. So if we have to protect women by ripping up your book, I will rip up and eat every Quran on the entire planet. They don't get it, but they're going to learn. We have to teach them. They're slow learners, but they will learn. It will just take a long time.
Already got him. Logic, so much more ready for him. By the way, I'm not saying that these people aren't going to get it, but these people, I'm just giving you their roles. Okay? Now, the main problem we have here, chat, this is the main problem we have. The problem is that we're working against people who have done this millions of times, right? Who are provocative and know exactly how.
Did you hear what he just said? He says, so one disadvantage, they have bigger reach than we do. So we're already doomed from that perspective. The second thing is they've been through this a ton of times. They know exactly how to push from long experience, they know exactly how to push our buttons. So that's another disadvantage. They know what really, really upsets us. Yes, we do, dude. Yes, we do. And Malik, well, I'll let him finish, and then I'll tell him what the real. But he's kind of on to some of the issues here.
To manipulate situations, right? So you ask me now, chat. So Malik, so how are we gonna do this? Well,
how are we gonna do it? What's the plan, Malik? Well, if those are only two disadvantages, Malik, you're kind of on the right track on the second one. The real disadvantage you have, I will call it the sensitivity asymmetry law. Call it the sensitivity asymmetry law, meaning you guys are way more sensitive about this than we are, right? You guys are the most fragile people on the planet. It is easy to enrage you. It is easy to freak you out. And it's amazing because you're the guys, we'll conquer the world, we'll subjugate all of you, we'll humiliate you, we'll destroy you. Islam will enter every household. Ha ha, you can't stop Islam. And you'll say that and then, oh, but respect our book, respect our book. We already heard the clip earlier from Malik. I'll smear feces all over Paul, I'll piss on Paul, blah, 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 blah. He likes talking like that. And guess what? Are we all, oh no, he's gonna do something to the apostle Paul. Oh my goodness. No, it's just, oh, okay, you want to go like that? Now let's see how you like it. And then we eat a page of the Quran, and then, oh, we have to launch war against them. It is really, really easy to freak you guys out. Now notice, if your group, your community, are the most fragile, the most overly hypersensitive to criticism people on the planet. You would think that the rule would be, well, don't going around thumping your chest and insulting people and going after people's wives and all this. Just don't do all that stuff, because other people can generally handle criticism and even mockery and so on better than we can. So let's not start this. That's what Allah's telling you in Surah 6, verse 108. Don't do it. Don't get into the battle if you're going to lose the battle. Like if it's going to hurt you more than it hurts them. So that's the real thing here. You guys are easy to offend. You guys are easy to upset. You guys are easy to freak out. It's easy to send you into full panic mode. Like, easy. You're sitting here talking, we're going to gear up for war, Dude, you're talking about gearing up for war for all of 2026. You're laying out your plan. Yes, we're going to have our war in 2026. Dude, you even think I really think of this as a war? I understand that you crossing D Wood is the most important confrontation of your life. That's why you're gearing up. You understand that this is the most important event of your life, that this is the most important year of your life, and that's why you want to come out on top. This is the most important thing. This is what you'll be remembered for. I understand how important this is to you. But for me, it's Wednesday, dude. It's Wednesday. That's why you're already doomed. That's why you don't start this stuff. You don't start this stuff with us. You are guaranteed to lose. There is no way for you not to lose. There's zero way for you not to lose. As soon as you started this, you lost. So get used to it. But I don't know. Maybe you're used to losing after your rap career.
No fear. When Malik's plotting in the background, everything's gonna work.
I actually want to listen to it, but it's when Malik's plotting. He just said, "Have no fear." When Malik's plotting in the background, you got the dude that just like snitched on half of the Dawah community a month ago, and now he's launching the world's history's biggest campaign of Quran desecration, all because he just refuses to apologize. He's too stupid, or he's just an agent and it's all deliberate. But this is the guy who's bragging about being the best of planners. He's even better than Allah, apparently.
Right? But what I need you guys to understand is that the more heavier this is going to get, the more you're going to have to understand what's really going on here. And this is what I wanted y'all to understand from the start. Okay? And this is why I started realizing when I got into the mix. This is all about money, donations, entertainment, making money.
One, that's stupid. You occasionally, there were a couple of videos that were like Quran desecration back in the day that got millions of views and stuff like that. This isn't going to do any. We could be talking about anything. We could be responding to a Dawah clip right now. We could be watching a debate clip right now. We could be doing any of that. It's not, oh, now way more people are donating or something like that when you're eating a Quran. No, that doesn't really help. The point here is these guys never understand people's intentions, and this is actually a problem. They get their ideas from the Quran, and they think it's right, and it's complete idiotic nonsense. According to the Quran, when people oppose Muhammad, why is that? It's for some like money or something. It's something else. It's not you actually opposing him as a false prophet. It has to be for something else that you're interested in. And it's just so they go with the Quran. There's always some ulterior motive to people not believing in Muhammad or exposing Muhammad or something like that. They can't get their minds around the idea that, wait, you guys are the jihadis who are bragging about taking over the world, subjugating us, enslaving the women, slaughtering us, me and all my friends are dead if Islam ever takes over. We're all dead. We're all dead. You got your Dawah guys bragging that they're going to execute apostates, that they're going to execute critics. We're all dead. And we know what you want to do with the women and girls. We know that. And then we see with the grooming gangs and all this other stuff, and you guys in child marriage. And then we see, from Malik, we hear about what you guys are doing behind the scenes. And we oppose this, and we're like, this nonsense, this is sick, demonic, evil, antichrist stuff. and it needs to be exposed. So we decide to expose it. And then what's your response? It's all about money, guys. That's what, dude, that's why if you don't understand people's actual motives, you're going to do a crap job. Because what are you going to do if you think it's about money? You're going to try and stop them from getting money. And guess what? That's not going to help if that's not what people are actually interested in. And if that's not the reason for doing it.
Okay? Let me give you an example. Christians, not really that many Muslims. Christians donate based on fear of Islam growing. Muslims donate based on actual debunking of Christianity. Right? So everybody's donating for a different reason.
Those would actually be the same thing as far as debunking Islam and stopping Islam from spreading. Those are connected, right? Because Islam is a violent, world-subjugating political ideology that seeks to control everything. So if you have a problem with the ideology, with Muhammad being a false prophet and his stupid antichrist teachings and so on, well, that's connected to not wanting Islam to spread. Why don't you want it to spread? Because of all the sick, evil ideas in it, right? So those would actually be connected. He's saying it's not about debunking the ideology. It's about fear of the spread of Islam. Well, yeah, they're connected, genius.
Muslims are getting donations because it's who's the most pious Muslim. Christians get donations based on.
Again, I don't want to keep interrupting him, but he can't go one sentence without saying something insane. Did you hear what he just said? Muslims donate to whoever the most pious Muslim is. Oh, so that's how you ended up with a bunch of Dawah guys who are going around taking the donations, spending them on drugs, smashing hoes, running trains on girls, doing three-ways in the hotel room, hanging out with Myron and all the OnlyFans girls, taking pictures of themselves, licking the women's various private parts and so on, and just being happy with this. And this is all funded. This is all funded by donations. So these are the most pious Muslims? Guess what? Yes. Because these are the guys who are acting like Muhammad. These are the guys acting like Muhammad. Gosh.
Who's gonna be the big bad wolf and take down Islam because it's growing? My neighbor's Muslim, my doctor's Muslim, my pilot's Muslim. Help, help, help. Right? That's the problem we're up against here. This is bigger than what's going on right now. Somebody eating the Quran online chat it's something being programmed into your head.
Every time you say it.
Normalized.
Every time you say
right?
it, dude. Ooh.
Normalized.
He just said it. He just said, ripping the Quran. He's saying something. He clearly watches my stuff because I'm the one who said that Muhammad Hijab could either apologize to the women he threatened or I would normalize the behavior. In other words, I would make it normal. Because back then it was a huge issue. It was circulating. Oh my goodness, he ripped the Quran. He's eating the Quran. Oh my goodness. There were lots of Christians. Again, most didn't care by that point because they're so fed up with Islam. But you still had a lot of Christians who were, what's going on here? Oh my goodness. And then, of course, they find out what it's about, and then they didn't really have a problem with it. But I told Hijab, you can either apologize. Pretty simple. Just apologize. I apologize for that. Yeah. He couldn't do it, just like Malik can't do it. He couldn't apologize. And so I said, if you don't apologize, I will normalize this. I will make this normal. And here we are. Guys, now I do it left and right. I'm sitting here doing this page after page after page in this live stream. What's happening? Who's freaking out? A couple of them. How many Christians are freaking out? I don't know, somewhere in the ballpark of 0? Why? Because I did exactly what I told you I would do. I'm normalizing it. And so anyway, he's aware of it. And apparently he's fine with it. Because he had the ability to stop this at any point, and he chose not to. He chose to disobey Allah because that's what his Mossad handlers chose for him.
Now, how do you get rid of somebody doing that? Especially somebody who crafts storylines, right? And crafts things that
I craft things out of the Quran.
Sound good to their own followers. Well, the only way to deal with somebody like this is to give them a taste of their own medicine.
That's right. Let's do that.
That's the only thing you can do.
Let's do that.
You have to understand, chat. It's all linked to the money.
It's all linked to Malik.
If you hit someone's pockets, you get them. But you can't give them away to hit your pockets.
Hey, did you catch this? Guys, remember years ago when Mohammed Hijab came up with a plan? This guy's doing the same thing that everyone else tried years ago and everyone failed at. But Mohammed Hijab said, look, we're going to... Why? Because Mohammed Hijab is doing the same thing. They're just doing it for money. It's not because of, the jihad and the terror and all the, almost 50,000 terrorist attacks and the grooming gangs go after their money. How did that work? How'd that work? It didn't. It didn't. And Malik is like, hey, no, I'll do it. How are you going to do anything, dude? You have a fraction of the fans that these guys had. I don't mean us. I mean your fellow Dawah guys who tried this before. You're barely a blip. I haven't even heard of you before this. But you're the one who's going to do the same thing everyone else tried and failed at. All right, good luck. Hats off to you.
So they get rich because it's all about money. Remember, chat. Now I'm going to give you a couple case studies that these guys have done so you guys can understand exactly what I'm talking about. Right? Now watch this. For example...
Don't mention Quran. Don't mention Quran pages again or anything like that because I will just tear one every time you mention it.
And APUS, okay? This is what happened. Central debated APUS. Central had that moment with him on the live. And what happened after that was 5 days later, some guy in Ukraine or something got unalived by a Muslim or something like that. And he put up a GoFundMe and made $100,000 saying, I need security cameras now because this guy threatened me.
Mm-hmm. That did happen.
Well, hold on a second. Every day people come on live and say, I'm going to get you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. What was different about that?
Well, it was public. It was a Muslim on a huge debate platform announcing that he was swearing by Allah that something was going to happen to AP, and he did this across his neck and so on. He swore by Allah and all that stuff. So this was a public proclamation. This isn't some, loser from, who's, in his basement in Pakistan who's posting a threat to you. This is someone who's vowing to do it, and he was vowing to do it. He was saying it was going to happen like at DebateCon. So, yeah, people took it more seriously.
It was the storyline. It was the storyline.
Yeah, that's a different story. Some random guy sending a threat online or something like that. No way to know who it is. No reason to take him seriously. Very different from a known, bottom tier Dawah guy guaranteeing it, swearing by law that it's going to happen. Publicly on video. Different story. So that's a different story. So yes, that's a different story. Man, you're a genius, dude.
Right? You guys have to understand, in the same way in the music industry, storylines get pumped out. For example, Cardi B drops an album, right? When Cardi B dropped the album, chat, who all of a sudden showed up? Oh, Nicki Minaj. Oh, Offset. All the beefs that she had showed up. Why? Because the only way albums sell is drama. That's the only way people are going to listen to you. Drama.
Hey, if he's saying, this stuff all, people pay more attention to the drama. Who's stirring up all the drama right now? Malik, right? So has he figured something out that the way he can get a bunch of attention right now is to stir up a bunch of drama? Sounds like he's doing this deliberately.
Right? In the same way, you set up debates, but who's coming to watch your debates? People are coming to watch a UFC match. When people want to watch, Libiano versus Uthman versus this and that versus Logic, they're coming to watch a UFC match. They're not coming to watch a debate. Nobody's learning anything from there. All you're doing is coming to watch a UFC match, and you're filling up people's pockets. Why? Because now we have new people who are fascinated with your knowledge, quote unquote, right? And then what happens? Right? People's Patreons get filled up. People start selling clothes. Who remembers the Where's the Injil t-shirt? How do you think that you can sell a Where's the Injil t-shirt? if you haven't been making drama about it the whole time? Right? This is why I want you guys to understand going into this, because the way I'm going to...
Yeah, guys, tell these guys in the chat just to refresh their page. They're saying someone at YouTube is messing up with the sound. No one at YouTube is doing anything. There are glitches. The internet isn't always running perfectly and so on. So
do this is methodical, strategic, and it's going to be, honestly, this is a bad war for David Wood, because
this is a bad war. There's no such thing as a bad war for D Wood, you giant doofus. Think about this. He's saying this is a bad war for me when he is the one who's going to be single-handedly responsible for the biggest campaign of Quran desecration in history. And it's going to go bad for me, according to him. What planet do these guys live on, man?
he picked on somebody that is... I'm not no Dawah guy. You're picking on somebody who's actually has nothing to lose compared to you. Your followers are going to want to know, David Wood, how you got away with the fact that you were talking to all these little girls, how you stole $15,000, $20,000 of people's money, by the way. And by the way, those people...
Nope. We kind of already went through that. That was supposed to expose me, and that was me not finishing stuff. And then what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? We've already been through all this. Yes, I've started big projects and then not finished them before. What do you want me to do about it? There are still things that might get finished in the future, or they might not get finished in the future. Guys, everyone thinks he's right there. He's saying, I started a big Quran project way back in the day. I realized it was going to take between 10 and 100 times as long as I thought. And then okay, we're not going to finish this now. It will require a team of people and not just me and another person. So that got postponed until there's a team of people to work on it. That's what he's using against me. What are his Dawah buddies doing? Taking Dawah donations and buying drugs with them. Funding Dawah trips to pay for their hotel rooms where they go out to the club and they bring the girls back and they're running trains on girls. That's the comparison here. David starts stuff all the time and then he doesn't actually finish it because it very frequently turns out to be way more difficult and way more time consuming than he thought at the beginning. Okay. Yeah. I acknowledge that. I said that happens tons of times in my life. He's comparing that to these guys going around smashing hoes, running trains on girls. Hats off to you, man. Keep at it.
We happen to be in touch with them, right? So there's more to the story than even Sam told, right?
Wait, he just said he's in touch with people? Dude, show us. Hey, this is the guy who blurts out all this stuff about the Warner and everyone else, and he's saying he's got this stuff on me. Dude, share it. What are you waiting on? Share it. I'd love to hear this. I'd love to hear this. I would love to hear what you got on me. Guys, remember Had It Out with Sam? That guy was my best friend for years. He said he's going to expose me. What did he have? David starts stuff and doesn't finish it very frequently. Okay. Yeah, I acknowledge that. I acknowledge it's a problem. It's a problem. I get real excited to start things and then eventually get really bored and can't even focus on it anymore. And then it turns out to be way more time consuming. And then something else come up and I'll do something else. That happened. That's a problem. Why? Because I've spent a lot of time starting things that I never finished and could have finished some and so on. So yeah, it's a huge problem. But what extra stuff do you have that the people who know me best didn't have? What are you going to expose me with? What do you got, Malik? Share it. Oh gosh, is he one of these dorks? Oh yeah, I got all this stuff on you, dude. I got all this stuff on you. Yeah, I hear that. I'm just waiting for the stuff because I know what I've done. And not only that, guys, have I not proven the point over and over again? Like, have I not repeatedly just told you the absolute most messed up stuff about myself over and over and over again? Here's the thing. These guys have just a couple of tricks that they go to, right? They'll try to threaten people in various ways. That could be like physical threats, like, what if we just make him disappear? So he's trying that. So the physical threats, they'll threaten to expose you for various things. We're going to go after their money and they won't be able to make any money anymore. And they just do those three things over and over again. And then you get to someone it doesn't work on at all. at all, and they can't stop. Why? They have no plan B. That's the takeaway from all of this stuff, guys. They have no plan B. They have their little bag of 3 tricks, and even if it doesn't work and it's completely hopeless, they still just go with those little handful of tricks. They have nothing else to go with. So Malik, I accept. I will launch the world's biggest Quran desecration campaign in history with your name attached to it every step of the way. And you respond by attacking me. You respond by attacking me. And we'll see how that works. This is the other thing. I mentioned the weaknesses, and you have the sensitivity asymmetry principle that I mentioned, that they are way more sensitive than everyone else, and therefore they shouldn't be getting into these things. It's pretty darn hard to offend me. It's really easy to offend them. It's like if you have 2 boxers fighting each other. If you have one boxer who has what's called an iron chin, and like you can punch this guy 50,000 times in the face and he just doesn't get knocked out, versus someone with a glass jaw, you tap him on his jaw and he just goes down. Probably not in the glass jaw's best interest to go up against the guy with the iron chin. That's just common sense. So there's that one. And then let's just go back to it real quick. Couple seconds back.
Your followers are going to want to know, David Wood, how you got away with the fact that you were talking to all these little girls, how you stole $15,000, $20,000 of people's money, by the way. And by the way, those people we happen to be in touch with them, right? So there's.
And so now you have the I'm going to say I have all this info. Why aren't you sharing it, dude? You're the guy who blurts all this stuff out. Wow.
More to the story than even Sam told. Right?
So this guy somehow knows more than Sam. Worked with Sam for years. This guy, he's got the connections, buddy. I accept your challenge, dude. I accept your challenge. And I just mentioned they had, the asymmetry principle. That's a huge one. Here's the other one. What is he saying? Guys, think very carefully about what he's saying. And Malik, we know you're watching. Maybe not now because you're live, or maybe you'll be watching later. We know you watch. Here's what you don't get. I'm not essential. Your book is essential. Is it good for Islam if people realize we can just treat the Quran however we want? We can do whatever we want to the Quran. We can rip it. We can feed it to animals. We can toss it in the toilet. No one cares. Okay. The Quran is essential and foundational to you. Muhammad is essential and foundational to you. What do I always go after? Muhammad and the Quran, Muhammad and the Quran. And it's either the ideas, the ideology, or in cases where, people like you, then it's just, ripping up your book and stuff like that, drawing pictures of Muhammad, taking it in a different direction for low IQ guys. Right? So guess what? What are you saying? What is his overall message? His overall message is, yes, going after David is going to lead to massive amounts of Quran desecration and things like that. Yes, but it's all worth it because we'll expose David. You already lost, dude. How are you this stupid? Like how? You could wipe me off the face of the earth tomorrow. I'm not essential. I'm not essential to Christianity. I'm not essential to destroying Islam. I'm not essential to anything. You've done nothing. If it becomes normal to desecrate your book and mock your prophet, guess what? That's pretty huge for your religion. That's a real big problem for your religion. So what you're saying is, I'm going to launch this entire year of going after this guy who, even if we were able to just chop off his head or something like that, guess what? You wouldn't even win then, because that's just, a lot of people are going to react to that. So you would accomplish nothing. It would blow up in your face. But as you're doing it, you end up with this epic campaign of Quran desecration, which does affect your religion. That's your plan. You already lost, dude. You already lost. I'm going after the essentials. You're going after the non-essentials. Why? Because I always go after the essentials. Because I'm not stupid.
And there's more even than that when it comes to stuff that's hidden. For example, David Wood did a show a couple years ago.
So we got the hidden stuff.
Let me tell you, for an example, somebody that David Wood you don't hear about. David Wood and Sam Shimon did a show with another guy. He was an African-American fella years ago. I think it was called Islam, Jesus verse was it called Jesus versus Muhammad or something, right? The guy ended up converting to Islam.
The guy was already a Salafi Muslim. He's talking about CL. The guy was already a Salafi Muslim. He said he left Islam and became a Christian because he just didn't feel any peace in Islam. So it wasn't really, he had all these reasons to convert to Christianity. It's just, Islam isn't making me feel peaceful, so I'll convert to Christianity. Then he was a Christian for 10 years. So he starts off, he's apparently raised as a Christian, some kind. Then, gets into Islam, becomes a Salafi. Oh man, he used to tell me like at the mosque, he said they would pass girls around. Like one guy would have a girl as his wife for a while, and then he divorces her. She has to wait a couple months. Then the next guy said these guys just pass around all the women. So anyway, that's cool. I can always, maybe we'll have a discussion with CL and we could go through some of the stuff. Anyway, point is, so that's CL. And then he was like 10 years as a Christian and then changed his mind and then became a Muslim again. And it was CL changed his mind again. I was thinking, okay, give him 10 years and then he'll be feeling different and so on. Anyway, I don't exactly know how to communicate with people who decide their ideologies based on their feelings and so on. But that's who he's talking about here. So CL, where are you going to CL here?
The guy ended up converting to Islam. He was David Wood's right-hand man. Well, guess what?
CL Edwards was my right-hand man. He lived close to the studio, so since he was an ex-Muslim, we had him do shows with us.
Muslim now, and he knows so much about David Wood. You
What?
think that David Wood's clean? No.
Hey, did you hear that, guys? So first it was he knows more than Sam. So Sam couldn't expose me, so now this guy's going to expose me. So he knows more, and now it's CL has all this stuff. What CL? Hey CL, what do you know? What do you got? Let's see it. Spill it. Post it. Post what you got, buddy. Post what you got. Hey, guys, does this guy sound like a person? Does he sound like he really knows anything or like he wants people to think? See, this is the sort of thing that would work with these Dawah morons, right? Because we know what they're doing behind the scenes. And so if you could threaten them like that, yeah, well, I know what you're doing. Yeah, I got, I'm in contact with people who know you. They're going to share all this stuff. Well, if you're actually doing all this stuff, then oh no, I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble because they found out about me. I'm the guy sitting here going, share what you got, dude. I want to see it. I want to see what you got. I'd love to see it. Let's see it. Oh, gosh. Actually, I have to be off in a couple minutes, so let me know if you guys want to come back to that and go through more. But I have to be off in a couple minutes because I'm going live with Hatun in a few. Oh, let's see. This is going to be fun. This guy's using every low-level manipulation tactic he can think of, and not going to go well for you, buddy. And this is what Malik's going to be remembered for. This war. I seriously doubt it'll take up a bunch of my time because there's also the time asymmetry principle. Like, he's going to spend his entire year going after me, and I just have to occasionally mention it and rip up a Quran or feed a Quran to a goat or something like that. And that's all I have to do. Won't take up a lot of my time, but it's going to be a fun year. Another year starting with a lame threat. Dawah 2026. That's what they do. D Wood, you are the goat of Quran eating. I am. I started that. The guy just can't lear his lesson. That's true. He can't lear his lesson. His new name, Dr. Malaikmi. Dr. Malaikmi. Malik wants a piece of the dizzle, not in the al-zut sense, or maybe in that way. Never know with these Dawah boys. Don't get too close, David. No, I won't. I definitely wouldn't get too close to the Warner. Did AP give you back the chain he put in his pocket in the last live when he was sitting next to you? I don't know. He kept pretending he was going to steal stuff, but then that dope, look what he did. Then he forgot this. He forgot it. Now I've got it. Now it's mine. So he's sitting there telling people he's going to steal my stuff, and then he accidentally leaves something. The venue feels so empty without Malik. Got to have Malik's leaks. The only advantage they have is Menj. He's their ultimate warrior. Menj. Masad Malik is trashing the Quran for views for a miserable price. Small price, small gain. That's right, he is. Guys, make that nickname stick. Masad Malik. He's been exposed. We know he flipped out. We know why he flipped out. Put the pageless aura up for auction. It'll be the world's first Quran without a lie in it. Yeah, we will. It won't even be auction. I'll just give it to somebody. Didn't goats eat parts of the Quran? Is he going to go to war on the goats as well for eating the Quran? Guys, you have not seen goats eating the Quran yet. But welcome to 2026. War with goats is crazy. That's true. Hello, Big D. Neither in the Diddy nor in the Zut sense. When is the debate with Sheikh Uthman? Internet's made Islam desperate. Lord's blessings. Yep, that will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Here, a small donation for your next Quran dinner. Thank you. Nah, I donate because this is funny. Yeah, he's saying it's because they're scared. Make Quran art normal again. We will. The world's first and only psychopathic Quran artist is coming out of retirement for 2026. Hey, David, what do your tats say? I have a Bible verse on one arm. Nothing else says anything. If you mean words. Up next on the D Wood Show, Quran Asmer. Oh, yeah, you could just record that, because I made the sounds. Serious question, David. I want to help, but does the paper wipe itself? Because I need to know before I actually buy a Quran. Yes. No sound. You're muted. No, I wasn't. There's some technical problem that wasn't on my side because people could just refresh and then it worked. D. Wood, you're one of the greatest tools God will ever use in his arsenal. Guys, God can raise up anyone for any purpose he wants. So D-Wood is never essential. Does Andy Tate have an iron shin or a glass jaw? Wouldn't say actually glass jaw, but he doesn't have an iron chin, definitely. Do you think this was what the Dawah boys told him he had to do to make up for ratting them out online? Go after D-Wood? No, I think they would be telling him under no circumstances do you go after D-Wood, because this will only end in disaster because you're stupid. Is thumbnail Muslim John Lennon? Yeah, it's trying to be. And Malik is an idiot. Maybe he had book smarts for the MCAT, but having any skill to read a room of D-Wood or fans is non-existent. He seems to have an EOS the size of the multiverse. I mean, an ego. Yeah, definitely no picnic. Definitely no picnic. But, yeah, that's the situation here, guys. That's the situation here. So, yeah, this guy's definitely a dope. Most people think he is, in fact, a Mossad agent based on the evidence. So, yeah, this is how things are starting, 2026, guys. And, yeah, so we'll be hearing more from Malik because he's trying to get the debates canceled and stuff. I was hoping we get to that, but I'm out of time. But he's trying to get the debates canceled. And, hey, so he's saying Jake has to cancel the debate with me because I eat the Quran. But Jake's debating me and AP. AP also rips up the Quran. And so he's demanding that Jake cancel both debates. Jake, I would just, if you want to go that route, Jake, because I don't care, guys, we'll do something else. Matter of fact, it's actually causing a conflict because I'm debating the morning of the 31st when the 30th is International Zut Day, and our plan was to go all night long, like the Al Zut did on Muhammad. So we're just going to live stream all night long, making fun of all the Zut stuff. But I actually can't do it because I'm debating that morning. So if it gets canceled, yeah, we definitely can do, all the, we definitely can go all night long with the Zut stuff. But anyway, so Jake, there's a message to Jake. Someone send this to Jake or tell Jake that I responded at the very end here. Jake, if you want to go with Malik, because I don't know what you're going to do. I know he's putting a lot of pressure on you. Jake, if you want to cancel, it makes no difference to me whether you cancel right now or cancel right before the debate or something like that. Doesn't affect me at all. James from Modern Day Debate, it puts him, like, if you cancel like shortly before the debate, makes things really difficult for him because he's got debates scheduled and this would be 2 debates canceled and so on. So that would actually be a big problem for debate cons. So Jake, if you want to cancel, if you want to go with Malik's advice, try to do that quickly. Again, not for me. It doesn't affect me either way. Do that for James because James is not going to like it if you just dip out of a debate at the last second. So he could actually probably find replacement debates if you were to back out now. So anyway, that's just the point to Jake. I do not care one way or another. I debate because people ask me to debate. I'm totally happy making videos and doing live streams. I'm totally happy doing that. But anyway, Malik thinks it's a big deal, and he's putting lots of pressure on Jake. So Jake, do what you want. Just, you know, again, I'm doesn't matter what you do as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, keep James in mind. Keep James in mind, and do the right thing as far as he's concerned, because he does a lot of Christian Muslim debates. All right, guys, I'm heading over to Hatun's channel right now, so we should be on here in a minute or two. See you all in a few. Just wanted to screenshot that poll. Not in the Zoot sense.